So I wanted to talk about one of the most dangerous positions in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. This is a situation that doesn't come up all the time, but it does come up, and if you don't know how to handle it, you could literally break your neck. If you don't break your neck, you could really hurt your neck badly. I'll show you, it's a simple position. My opponent's in the turtle. Maybe I come here like this and I have my arm in, and it's a great position. Maybe I can do some kind of clock choke here like this. I can start to get a crucifix. I can start to choke him in a lot of different ways, but if I'm not careful, if he goes to roll me, I could really hurt my neck bad. So James is going to grab my arm and start to roll a little bit. So if he rolls me and I keep my head up and I come like this, you can see I can really hurt my neck. I can maybe break my neck. When I was a blue belt, I was in this position. I got my head and neck jammed in the mat really bad, and I could just feel all the vertebrae compressing. I didn't get seriously hurt, so I was lucky, you know. So I want to give you some strategies when you're here, what to do. So the most basic thing we're going to do is we're not going to have our head way up in the air. And I can use this hand to help break fall. So if I feel him grabbing and start to roll me, yeah, I can use this to kind of break fall a little bit and duck my head so I make sure that I don't hurt my neck. So that's the first strategy. We're just going to keep our head low and use our other hand to break fall a little bit. Depending on the size of this guy, I can do some other things. So if he's about my size, or maybe a little bit smaller, that's the best people to roll, people smaller than you. When he goes to roll, I can just sprawl. It can make it real hard. Even if he keeps rolling, yeah, I can just sprawl and put a lot of pressure on him and his body. But that's only going to work if he's a certain size. If he's real big, that's not going to work at all, of course. So some strategies you can use if he's a little bit bigger. So instead of just putting my arm here, I can kind of pry his thigh open. So I bring my arm in and I kind of pry his thigh open like this. So why is this better? Well, when I spread his knees apart like that, it's harder for him to roll. So he's got to reach back for that arm. Right, if he tries to roll now, much harder for him to roll. He's blocking himself. And this is good. I still control his body. I still got pressure on his torso because my arm is driving in there and I'm controlling the hip here. So I still have pretty good control. Now, if I want to do a clock choke, I can also grab his pant leg here. So if I come behind him, he's a little bit bigger, and I know he likes to roll people, maybe I'll just grab his leg here instead, his pant leg. So now my arm's not in a position for him to reach. If he tries to reach, it's too far back. It's going to be hard for him to roll me here. And if I wanted to choke him, I can still get the collar here, come forward, and bring my arm through. So I'm still controlling him, keeping him in place. But I'm not going to get rolled. So it's going to keep my neck safe. So those are some of the things you got to think about. Because if the guy's good at this roll, it's going to probably happen in transition. So I used to do this roll a lot too. I still like it. And a couple years ago, one of my purple belts came around my back, and just as he put his arm in, I just squeezed his arm and rolled, and I felt this big plunk. And it's like when you're driving down the road, you hit a big pothole that you didn't see coming, and he had his neck up. Luckily, he didn't break his neck or get hurt too bad, but that's what's going to happen in that transition. And if I'm here like this, as I come around, if he's really good, as soon as this comes in, he's just going to squeeze and roll right. So if the guy's a lot bigger than me, like when I go a big Pedro, I would never put my arm in here. So if I'm here and a guy that's much bigger, I'm just going to come around and either grab his hip, grab his pant leg, something like this. A real big guy, I'm not even going to come in and pry, because this takes a little bit of time to pry that out. If I come in and try to pry and he just starts rolling, it could be too late. Then I got to protect my neck. So the safest thing for me is to come around and just grab his hip maybe. Or grab the pants right here. I can control him. If there's no gi, maybe I'll grab his ankle. This is going to help me control him, keep my position, and not allow him to roll me. So that's it. So use those things. Make sure you don't have your head up in this position, because you can break your neck, and that's a bad thing. Thanks a lot.